Experiences. Well, we know we can't really trust the ones from the Watchtower, and if some of them are based on truth, that's about all it is, based on truth. Probably the chewing gum on the stair was about the only thing that was true in the story. Although, in fairness, I do have to mention that there have been reports in magazines that had to be verified with publishers first. That was in the old days. Don't know whether they still do that or not. I suspect not. But then perhaps that's just me with my confirmation bias. Yeah, those experiences. Oh, you get somebody on the platform or an assembly boasting session who says that they were a horrendous person before Jehovah's Witnesses called, and now they've turned their life around. I knew a chap who used to be a pimp and a drug addict, turned his life around, became a Jehovah's Witness, was on the platform at an assembly saying about how he had turned his life around, and you could tell he was revelling in it. He was kind of revelling in the notoriety that he was part of this gang now that, to be honest, his mum and most of his family were in, the Witnesses, trademark. What's he doing now? Well, I think he's, I don't know, probably in a retirement home now, but the last time I heard of him, he'd gone back to pimping and drug abuse. So that really worked, didn't it? Thank you, Watchtower, for your mind cleansing. There have been other people I've known over the years who perhaps have been criminals and have thanked the Watchtower, Babylon Crap Society, for helping change their life. But you know what? Whereas I will agree that is a good thing, and if the Watchtower's done that, excellent, then why doesn't it get rid of paedophiles? But anyway, that's another matter. But Jehovah's Witnesses are not the only religion where people have these testimonies and say, this religion helped me stop being a vile person and help me to be a wonderful person. Happens in all religions. Mormons, I'm sure Scientologists, although I don't know much about them. I know in the Christian church where I've gone, I've met people who have said the same thing about Christians. I'm talking about real Christians, not the sort of plastic Jehovah's Witness Antichrist ones. And they've said to me, well, being a Christian, and they give their testimony, and the transformation's good, they become good citizens. So don't let anybody ever tell you that the Witnesses have got a monopoly on this. They haven't. In fact, who is changing their life these days? Well, as far as I can see, the only ones now that are getting baptised, as we said before, are born-ins. Born-ins doing it for the family, probably, or because they've had a lifetime of mind cleansing that has brainwashed them. That's what happened to me. I had a lifetime of brainwashing. Sometimes the brainwashing still kicks in, and I find myself fighting it because it's illogical. But I'm over the worst of it now. With time, things always get better in these situations. Yes, family members don't talk to me. I've been unfriended on Facebook by an Uberdub and I don't care. Somebody once said to me a long time ago, and this was an apostle friend who was a Catholic, then, he turned witness for a while. He said to me, well, the thing with the shunning with the Witnesses is that if people genuinely love you, they will still love you. people who don't love you will continue not to love you, and they weren't worth it in the first place. Look, a little wagtail. There you go, up and over. I don't know whether you could see wagtail or not, but he's gone. And there we have it. The wagtail flew away quicker than an apostate from a kingdom hall. I liked Dan Maher's video the other day. Why don't we just go away as apostates? The reason we're not going away is because of the shunning, the blood weirdness, and the paedophiles, and the lack of justice. Until the Watchtower decides to do something about paedophiles that are rife, absolutely rife within the congregations. You know, I've recounted of 3, and there have been more that I've known, some of which I didn't know full details with, but there's at least 5 that I definitely know were pedos. Watchtower's got to get rid of that before they get any credibility anymore. And the shunning thing, we know why they do the shunning. We know why they do the shunning. It's because we apostates know too much, and we can bring down the Watchtower if we were let loose in the congregations. But we're doing it still. Doing it from outside, a lot of curious witnesses. And the blood thing, well, none of that makes any sense. None of it. Alright, so they've taken a couple of scriptures. But blood fractions, duh. Anyway, experiences that you hear. I was involved in an experience on a platform once, and the problem with it was a reenactment. By the time we had reenacted it, it was absolutely nothing like the reality. Nothing like the reality at all. The truth of the matter was, the chap that came to me and I studied with was doing it because he fancied a bird in the congregation. They're married, happily married now, and both apostates, I'm glad to say. But that wasn't how the experience at the Kingdom Hall went. And I remember, as we were rehearsing it, the elder in control of it was saying, no, we'll say this instead and say this. And by the time we'd finished, it was completely different. I remember we did what do you call it? Oh, a drama. Oh dear. Yawnsville. What utter crap fest that was. A drama in front of several thousand people. And we had to keep rehearsing it. Oh my goodness me. You know, the tape that everybody mimed to had to be destroyed. An apostate friend of mine kept his. And I'm thinking now, out of those that were in that drama, one of the coordinators of it, one of the elders, he's an apostate now. One of the guys who was in it, he was locked up because he's a pedo. No, some have just gone. But it was a crap fest, it really was. But the way that they handled that drama, every time we went into the Kingdom Hall to practice it, a different brother had come along and changed it from what it was. Yeah, the words were basically the same, but it was where you were and, you know, what position you were in with your sword and all that kind of stuff. And every time, but we must remember the seriousness of what we're doing, you know. And me and another brother, we thought it was a load of old cobblers. Well, what do you expect from the Watchtower Babylon Crap Society? You lurkers, you who are still witnesses, you've got a lot to learn yet. Keep learning, and it won't be long till that belief system that you've got that's held together with elastic bands, all of a sudden the elastic bands will all pop, and your bundle of beliefs will just fly to pieces, and then you'll be well on your way to living. Good luck to you. Yeah, and I said luck. Luck, luck, luck. Fortune, fortune, fortune. Enjoy life, my friends.